This knife is only $2.50, yo! There is no other knife for this price that is still good. Oh my, oh, yo. This is by far the best deal that you can get. But there's one caveat. You can't get it. Oh. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Dutch Bushcraft Knives. Welcome to another episode of Dutch Knives. I already said that. Let's start off with casually pushing this cheapest knife to its limits.
Paradise is a kiss away. Conspiracies by financial gain.
Let's go harder.
Force-fed from a wiki page. What you keep talking about goes around.
Mikkie, that's €2.50.
This is absolutely stupid.
That's madness.
Further, let's go further.
Okay, that's the limit. But Mikkie, we're talking about, look, the tang is pretty small. We're talking about a €2.50 knife. This is definitely not made for batoning at all. This is a knife you buy for carpentry stuff.
You know, and that I think that's what this video is about. We are not going to show you what you can't do with this knife. We are going to show you what you can do with this knife and why it is amazing.
Exactly.
This video is sponsored by Tools for Gents, yo! For a real gentleman! For a real man.
Let's start off with taking the cheapest Mora knife and do the same test with it as we did with the cheap knife, which is called Hantverkskniv. Hantverskniv. Hantverskniv.
Now, clearly, this knife is way sturdier. I mean, there you go. You split the wood, which was completely impossible with the other knife.
Yeah, so that is the big plus of the Mora. It is way better for hard use, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a big win for the Mora, but the same reason that makes the Hantverkskniv weaker in hard use made the dirt cheap knife better at edge retention.
Rope cut, my loves.
Oh.
But it was very sharp and thin, of course. And then the Mora Basic.
This is the carbon version, so this has better edge retention than the stainless version. This feels duller, Mikkie.
Oh no.
What?
Okay, and now the other one again? I mean, that is definitely better. Another cut?
You crazy dude.
I think it's very logical that this all happened because this is just hardened, yeah? And they didn't compensate for the fact that it might need hard use or whatever. It just needs to hold an edge because it should just cut stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas this knife is heat treated to do hard use, and that's why it didn't break. And if you look at the part that broke, not only did it broke on the handle, the tip already broke. Not only did that happen, with the opening shot, the handle, the edge damaged massively. The fact that it keeps a better edge is not necessarily a good thing if you are planning to use this knife outdoors. Yeah, it is only $2.50, so there is no way we can complain. But it is definitely not a negative point for the Mora.
No.
But still, remember that the Hulteforce, which is completely damaged and rusted now, it is still the best deal of this because it is way tougher than the Mora and it's only $10. So look at the margin of error. This knife is in the handle, but this is just completely sticking out.
Yeah.
But still.
But what do you expect?
$2.50.
Yeah, exactly. It's all a good excuse.
Another demonstration of how good the Mora is in comparison with this knife. Mora, tip test, yeah? Okay, that was actually pretty scary. But this knife, oh well, now there you have it.
Yeah, that's...
And you say you're testing a carbon knife versus a stainless knife. This usually shouldn't happen with a stainless knife. Let's just make it quick fire with this knife. let's make this fire. And by the way, the fire steel that I'm gonna use is now made in Europe. It's the DPK fire steel in Ukraine.
Nice, handmade.
Handmade in Ukraine. So go to the web shop and buy it and support this channel. And then, thanks very much.
Boom.
Too bad this knife cannot scrape a fire steel. So this is a very bad promotion for us. So it easily makes a fire, Martin. Let's do some carving. I mean, €2.50, eh? $2.50. Here, the top of a tree. Yep.
But then it started to perform way worse than I thought.
What up?
Yeah, I mean, look at how bad it just damaged because of that piece of wood.
Yeah.
See that? So, I mean, it can still cut wood very nicely and it could still make a fire and everything. Oh, well, I'm saying that. That piece of knife doesn't really want to cut. Nevertheless, let's just make a 10-pack. I started off being very positive about this knife, like, yeah, what can go wrong for €2.50? But I mean, I made a 10-pack, and that part of the wood that the knife cut this 10-pack with is not able to cut wood anymore.
Yeah.
Like literally not. It's not dull, it is
Gone.
damaged.
Yeah. So something like a DC4 that you can buy at the DBK shop.
Oh, you can buy it at the DPK shop too.
Yeah, with our logo on it, by the way.
Oh!
Yeah, you don't see it in the dust, but if I can quickly sharpen this, on this, and these knives that are made in big bulks, the heat treatment of the edge in the sharpening is often ruined. So I want to see if one sharpening job fixes it. Sharpening job?
Like hell.
On the
Don't buy it because we're scamming you, of course. Well, it's holding up much better.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's minor edge problems, but I love minors. So that, oh wait, I'm not finished then. Original edge is too thin, that's what I think.
Yeah. Just buy a sharpening stone that is 10 times as much as the knife on the DBK shop.
Yeah, the knife is cheap, dirt cheap, but it has so much limits that the video might have already covered everything. Don't be fooled, it's a made in China knife and it shows how crazy cheap knives can come nowadays. But I don't think we should want these knives to be much cheaper than a Mora or Hulta Force. Yeah, it came sharp, but the edges get damaged.
Okay, that is good, that is
proper.
very nice.
That is good. That is actually really good.
Yeah, it feels alright, but it does break unpredictably. It all needs a little more explanation.
It's the cheapest knife, but actually the
From
conclusion is going to be that it will cost you money.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell you why. After
This brand new giveaway that is bloody amazing, Mark hit it.
A Hantverskniv A1X thanks to DBK, a Hantverskniv F1 Pro L-Max thanks to DBK, the just released TRC M1 SL and M390 thanks to TRC, a Cold Steel 4Max Scout thanks to Cold Steel Deutschland, a Rocca Corpus Aturi thanks to Lamnia, an MKM Norma 3V thanks to Knives and Tools, and a BPS Bushmate designed by DBK.
I just want to say that it is pretty amazing that you can make a very functional knife for €2.50, $2.50.
Yeah.
There are so many more expensive Chinese knives that are way worse than this. This is actually just a functional knife for stuff like carpentry, a little bit of carving. Just mind that that factory edge might not be the best, but for $2.50, this is a no-brainer.
if you buy this knife, it's not going to give you a functional edge because the edge is going to be too weak.
Yeah.
And you're going to damage it, so you need to sharpen it. So you need a sharpening stone. So it is not $2.50. It is $2.50 plus, like, for how much do we sell the DC for?
It's like €23 or
23 euros, and that is one of the cheapest sharpening options that you have because you need to resharpen that edge.
But I would say that with every knife, at least if you have knives, you need some way to sharpen them.
You cannot buy this knife except if you live in Sweden.
Yeah, it's from a local hardware store in Sweden. Can you imagine somebody made this?
Yeah.
Then they shipped this to Sweden.
Yeah.
Then a Swedish company buys them and also makes a profit on it, and it costs $2.50. What is the production cost of this?
Unbelievable.
20 cents?
Let me tell you for who is this knife, if
Yeah.
you can get your hands on it. Well,
For exactly that kid.
yeah. This knife is for people who still want to learn how to sharpen.
Yeah.
Yeah? This knife is
to
for
learn how to
people
sharpen, yeah.
who want to learn how to carve.
If you go on holiday, you're a bushcrafter and you have a kid, a very young kid that also wants to try bushcrafting, but you're not sure if he's gonna hit stones and whatever.
Yeah.
Give him this knife.
You know-
he can only ruin $2.50.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, don't buy that knife except if you live in Sweden. Don't go looking for this knife except if you live in Sweden.
It's better than every other Chinese knife that is 10 times more expensive than this.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you liked it and tell us what knife you want us to review. That's how we also found out about this knife. And see you later. Martha, you look very pretty. Jesus.